Looking at Lake Ridge, I can tell you if there's any perception that this is an area that is more higher risk to build, and that's really not true. I mean, they can move to anywhere in Dallas, Las Colinas, Castle Hills, Irving. You can't really escape any area here in Dallas as far as having bad expansive soil. What you have out here at Lake Ridge is really different from a lot of the other projects we see with SlabTek that are pretty much flat, open communities. This is more of a country out of the city, rolling hills, the quiet, serene lifestyle out here. And this is a very beautiful area out here. There's certainly no reason why anyone would be reluctant to build a home in this community. And SlabTek would be an excellent candidate if they were concerned in any manner of the potential soil moving out here. SlabTek would really do well out here in this area. The perception that the soils here at Lake Ridge are problematic to build on are really not true. You really got to put it into perspective. All throughout North Texas, we've got what's known as fatty clay soils. What you have out here at Lake Ridge, what SlabTek offers is a product that really significantly minimizes the potential for liability for a builder or the homeowner, because with SlabTek being a suspended foundation, it does not rely on the current condition of the soils. Another advantage of SlabTek is that when soils do have a tendency to want to move, SlabTek offers you a superior suspended foundation design that compensates for the potential movement that you can possibly experience. Here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, a typical post-tension foundation without any soil remediation is probably about $6 to $6.50 a square foot. When you add piers to a foundation, you can throw in about another $2 a square foot, so you're now getting into the $7, $7.50, $8 a square foot. Now let's take it to another extreme. Pier and beam foundations, which are like the Cadillac of suspended foundation systems, with the floor system will run you about $18 to $22 a square foot, but they're very high maintenance and labor intensive. Just below that, you have void carton box foundations that today are running probably about $15 to $18 a square foot. Very good systems, but also very labor intensive. SlabTek right now, we're seeing from contractors that are putting it in that on the low end, you're probably looking at $11.02 a square foot, and probably about $12.50 on the high end if you were looking at it from different builders. And it really again depends on two factors: how many piers your design takes and the depth of those piers. But really, what's going to drive the cost. But right now, SlabTek is the most cost-effective solution when discussing a suspended foundation compared to, again, pier and beams or void boxes. Or if you're having to remediate soils, such as removing, replacing, moisture conditioning, water, chemical injecting, when you add the cost of remediating the soils and a monetary cost to the time that it takes to do all that work, and then proctoring those soils to make sure that it was successful, and adding that to the cost of now doing a post-tension foundation with or without piers, SlabTek is still going to save you about $3 to $5 per square foot when you're having to involve remediation. Soil remediation, like a lot of things in life, it's not an exact science. It's a theory, it's assumptions that if you do this, you should equal that. And I want to be careful with remediation, because there are some contractors who do a very good job with remediation, but in its simplest form is nature will eventually find a way to restore the soils back to their natural state. So we commonly hear that usually around year 5 or 6 is when homeowners start experiencing foundation problems, because whether they water injected or chemical injected, when Dallas goes through these severe droughts with back-to-back wet seasons, there's the propensity that those soils eventually do dry back out again and start creating foundation problems. Soil remediation is not a bad thing. It relies on the depth you're having to remediate, the quality of the contractor that you're selecting, the quality of the individual proctoring, the remediation that's taking place. It's just a very long and cumbersome process, which is why so many of our clients that use SlabTek see the value in just leaving the soils alone and suspending the slab for a third of the cost of what they would have spent doing all the soil remediation.